I'd like to respond to an article that appeared in the Washington Post in April of this year, written by a rather well-known author named Tom Ricks, who did write a very instrumental book praising West Point. But I guess the economy does affect the way people have views about our military. And in this particular article, Ricks said, well, why don't we get rid of West Point? Why don't we get rid of the academies? What do we really need them for? Why not just do ROTC? And so a young lady, a cadet at West Point, was very moved and angry at his comments about doing away with the military academies. And so I'm going to preface my remarks and edit a little bit about what she wrote in response. And sincerely, I think this particular response that this cadet wrote sums up very, very nicely what the academies are all about. So I would like to just read some of her observations. Many have seen Tom Ricks' article in Sunday's Washington Post concerning doing away with West Point, actually all the academies. My fellow cadets, in moments of overwhelming stress and cynicism, often compare our rock-bound Highland home to prison. Like inmates, cadets are regularly deprived of a wide range of social freedoms that normal college students would see as constitutional rights. We are told when, what, and where to sleep, eat, and where. Our campus is secured on all perimeters by gates and security guards, and entry into and out of West Point is tightly regulated. Most of the time, West Point feels more like the Panopticon than it does Harvard Yard. All teachers have earned advanced degrees. About half of our instructors, and I want to emphasize the academic merits of the academies, you're getting a world-class education. Those of you who have graduated, those of you currently there, and those of you that are looking forward to this experience, a world-class education. Most of them are rotating active duty officers who bring more than just PhDs to the classroom. Lessons about electromagnetic waves are interspersed with anecdotes from the battlefields of Iraq. My teachers bring to light the realities of war alongside abstract intellectual concepts. They are invested in us in ways that reach far beyond the report card. When we graduate with our heads full of knowledge that they have taught us, we walk into the larger fold of military life that they are part of. As one sidebar to this comment, I had the experience of teaching courses with 250 students. You'll not see that at the academies. You will get individualized instruction. You will have professors that are there for you. It's not, I'll see you in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Their job is to make you succeed. Rest assured, you'll get your education. Compared with the large impersonal classes of many undergraduates or undergraduate programs, classes above 18 students require the dean's approval, and cadets have the home phone numbers of most of our instructors, all of whom we are free to call for additional instruction. We have Rhodes Scholars, 2 American presidents, of course that's West Point, countless statesmen and scientists who have made great contributions to society. I would challenge Mr. Ricks to sit in on one day of my classes and walk away still convinced that my classmates and I are receiving a community college education. Mr. Ricks wants to dispose of the academies in order to trim the federal budget in response to the economic crisis. But how much should we sacrifice? And will these cutbacks make America stronger or weaker on the battlefield? In these challenging times of conflict, when the rules of warfare are constantly shifting, our military needs officers equipped with the knowledge gained from a variety of backgrounds and experiences. Even more importantly, the Academy has taught us the intangible things that refuse to fit neatly into statistical charts and balance sheets presented to Congress. Mr. Ricks cannot measure the value of the camaraderie gained by roughing through a 15-mile ruck march together with one day and calculus homework the next. The sense of integrity ingrained into our psyches through the Cadet Honor Code. Please remember that, appointees, that is your life, the Honor Code. Always remember that. It's one of the most important things you'll learn at this experience, and you will carry it with you for the rest of your life, along with the friendships that you'll make. You'll learn, you'll be educated, you'll be instructed to do the right thing. And if there's ever a time when we need to do the right thing, it is now. And the ability to handle the rigors of day-to-day cadet life, replete with academic, athletic, and military requirements. The academies immerse us in a demanding, high-stress military environment, and cadets internalize the values of perseverance, integrity, and selfless service, among other principles, so that they become almost second nature. Cadets don't just attend military classes a few times a week and fall back into regular civilian lives. We live and breathe military culture from reveille to taps, and often in the wee hours of the morning, in between taps and reveille. The academies represent far more than just service-oriented undergraduate institutions. Our schools also serve important diplomatic functions that strengthen ties with foreign military forces. There will be individuals that you will compete with from Sandhurst in Great Britain. You'll have competition with counterparts in Britain, Canada, Afghanistan, and even Chile. My son's experience at the Air Force Academy, there were cadets from Pakistan. So you will be exposed to a wide variety of students from around the world. One of the great assets and great benefits of attending the military academies. Again, world-class education, world-class exposure. In trying times like these, when American blood is spilled on foreign soils in pursuit of lofty ideals such as democracy and freedom, we learn that some things simply don't carry price tags. If anyone says to you, well, your son's getting a free education or your daughter is getting a free education, remind them that's not true. Remind them that they are going to be asked to serve their nation and to make the sacrifices. It's not a free education. It's an honor. It's a privilege. We need more of that. Though excess and wastefulness certainly aren't the right answers, there are some things we should never surrender in the name of efficiency or cost effectiveness. How is it that in a time when government is spending on programs, infrastructure, and bailouts at an ever-increasing rate, the academies are judged expendable? The academies are a crucible that molds you into leaders of character. We cadets forfeit free time and sleep to endure pressures that most college students would never put up with, because we know the payoff after graduation is something that can't be calculated in dollars. A solid education that will prepare us to lead our nation's sons and daughters into harm's way. Douglas MacArthur once noted, quote, that in war there is no substitute for victory. Well, let me put it this way. In America, there is no substitute for the academies.